Okay, so I'm about to tell you guys a story about something that just happened. And this has to do with a customer that we have had for about, gosh, probably 10 years, both residential and commercial, about 15K a year. So lifetime value of that customer is roughly $150,000. And I had to get nasty with them today. I had to get ugly with them today. I actually had to threaten her. And I absolutely hate doing that because it could possibly jeopardize this relationship. And it probably did. But sometimes you just have to take a stand. You have to lay down the law. And sometimes that might have an impact on you financially. So make sure that you keep watching because I'm going to give you guys all the details of what transpired. And I'm going to share with you the text messages and then ultimately the final phone call I received from this customer. And I'm also going to share with you guys how to avoid these situations so you don't have to make tough choices like walking away from customers like this. But before we get into that, 𝐤𝑂TE is giving away a Ford F-150 at the end of this month to a premium, platinum, or ultimate subscriber. So if you need help organizing, keeping track of customers, sending estimates, invoices, and getting paid, download the #1 CRM for home service businesses, 𝐤𝑂TE. There is a link in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so finding the right motivation to trigger the reaction that you want can sometimes be a little difficult. Like with your marketing, for example. What is the trigger that gets potential customers to hire you and get on the schedule? That is something that evades a lot of people. Fortunately, I'm pretty good at that. I don't really have to worry about customer acquisition or lead generation as much now as I did early on in my business because I know what works and then I replicate it. And there is one other thing that I have pretty much perfected over the course of the last 20 something years, and that is how to get paid. But I'm not talking about just getting paid. That's the easy part, right? You give the customer the invoice, you make it easy for them to pay you, and then you get paid. I'm talking about those few customers every year, and there's going to be more as your business grows that are going to be complete. And they're going to want to drag out the payment process, pay you when they are ready, the dreaded slow pay customer. And those slow paying customers are annoying, they're disrespectful, and they are wasting your time. So you guys might be thinking to yourself right now, Mike, what do you mean you're not going to get paid or the customer might slow pay? They pay you after the job is done. Well, if you're at that point in your business where the customer has to be home for you to do the job in order to get paid because that's how you operate, then you should probably just stop watching this video right now because it's not for you. But if your business isn't a side hustle, hopefully it's growing, you've got more customers, you got more jobs, you can't run your business around other people's schedules, right? You have to make it convenient for them. If you don't, they're just going to go somewhere else. People are at work, people have things to do, they've got kids and carpool and a million other things that can prevent them from being home at the exact time that you're planning to get paid. And because of that, you will be alienating a gigantic portion of potential customers if you require them to be home, which is one of the great selling points that we use in my business. We just say, hey, don't worry about it. You don't have to be home. We're going to take care of everything. When you get home, do a walkthrough, make sure everything meets your expectations, and then you can pay online through the link on your invoice. People love this, and quite honestly, I'm not overly concerned that I'm not going to get paid. We always get paid. I know where they live. I have all of their contact information. They are not going to get away with not paying. The hassle is when somebody decides to slow pay. And honestly, it's not that big of a deal at this point in my business because I'm not reliant on a single job in order to survive. And I think about the pros versus the cons of not collecting payment at the end of each job, as well as the amount of jobs that we can get done because we're basing it on our schedule, not the customers, which far outweighs the one or two people that slow pay throughout any given year. So that's the how of this story. And now we're going to talk about the why. Why I lost my shit and had to get nasty. So like I said, this is a residential and a commercial account, right? And this particular customer is the CEO of a large medical group. They've got a big old office with a medical center that's attached. And we normally clean this about twice a year. We also clean the CEO's house twice a year. Now, the office is a breeze. It's pretty much always clean because we're doing it twice a year. We do the building, we do the sidewalks. It doesn't take a lot of time. And the guys really enjoy doing it because it's fast and it's easy. Now, the residential part, this is not as easy, and they actually hate doing it because these folks' backyard, it's really, really nice. And by nice, I mean they have got a lot of stuff. They've got an entire bar, a kitchen, a dining set, a lot of stuff, and that means a lot of stuff that we have to move. Now, we charge them to move this, but the guys don't care. It's still a pain in the butt. And they are paid to do this. And like I said, we're compensated for the movement of all of this stuff. But as you know, it's not fun to move everything and then have to put everything back after you've done the job that you were there to do. So that's the good stuff. Consistent work, nice paychecks. Obviously, when you're dealing with commercial accounts, there is the understanding that typically these accounts take about 30 days to pay. It's normal. There is nothing wrong with that. If you want to get into commercial work, it's something that you're going to have to deal with. And I know when you're first starting out, that 30-day lag to get paid can be not so fun to deal with, but it is what it is. And if you want to play with the big boys, if you want to get paid like the big boys, you have to be ready to play like the big boys. And that means waiting to get paid. Now, there are a couple things that you can do as far as commercial work goes and getting paid a little bit faster, and that's with your terms, okay? Something like offering a 1% 10 net 30. And basically what this means is you're going to give them a 1% discount if they pay you within 10 days, as opposed to paying the full amount in 30 days. Some companies will take you up on this because if they're big enough, they've got millions of dollars out there, right, waiting to get paid. And 1% certainly adds up. So they're going to want to save that 1%. And if you're really desperate to get paid, you can increase that percentage to entice them to pay you a little bit quicker. And residential, obviously, that's a lot quicker turnaround to get paid, typically within a day or two. And that helps with cash flow when you're first starting out. And like I said, these are easy jobs for the most part, but they are the slowest paying motherfuckers in the world, to the point where it's almost comical. Like, it's a big medical group. They're big. They have got plenty of money, and they want to hold on to my money way longer than what is normal. And then the fact that I have to repeatedly send emails or texts with the invoices requesting payment is unbelievably annoying to me. And it's something I should not have to do. We perform the service. We send the invoice. They need to adhere to their end of the deal, which is to pay their bills in a timely manner. And like I said, 30 days is fine. But when it starts getting into 60 days or 90 days and even past that, that's just wrong. It's disrespectful and it pisses me off. But for a long time, I just bit my lip. I didn't say anything. I didn't pursue it like I would if it was just a one-time job. But then it started to happen with the residential side of the relationship too. Like, if you're going to hire somebody, pay your damn bills. Pay them on time. If you don't want to pay, if you don't have the money, don't hire us. Now, as your business grows, as your lead flow increases, you have the ability to choose who you want to work for and who you don't want to work for, and at what price you're willing to work for who you want to work for, as well as the amount of bullshit that you're willing to put up with. Well, guys, I'm at the point where I don't put up with any bullshit. It doesn't matter if it's a $150,000 customer or a $500 customer. I don't need your money so bad that I'm going to compromise the way that I run my business. So we cleaned their building at the end of last year. Okay, they are due for another cleaning. We've been unbelievably busy, so it really hasn't been up on my radar. But I was looking at past due invoices a little over a month ago in 𝐤𝑂𝐈𝐕𝐄𝐀𝐖𝐀𝐘, and there were only 2 outstanding invoices. One was 13 days past due, and one was 130 days past due. And it was the CEO's house. So I sent her a text message with a link to her invoice. Didn't think about it again. And then yesterday I opened up my dashboard analytics, and staring me in the eye is the only outstanding invoice that I have. And that is 161 days past due. And it set me off. I got pissed and I reacted. So I grabbed my phone. I start to text her and I start scrolling. And all that's there is invoice after invoice after invoice that we are all being completely ignored. And I can go back for several years on this text exchange, and it's the same thing. Me continually asking them to pay their bill, always politely, always with class and professionalism. But looking at this history, it's almost laughable. And I think that's what pissed me off. Like, every time we do work for them, I have to send 6 or 7 follow-up invoices. And is it worth it? Probably from the financial aspect. Does it take a lot of time for me to forward an invoice? No, just a few seconds. But I shouldn't have to do that. And for whatever reason, this time, I just got angry. And this is the text message that I sent her. Seriously? And I said her name. Every time we do work for you, I have to beg to get paid. It does not take anyone this long to pay their bills, and you do it to me every single time. It's not even worth it. Keep the money you owe because you apparently need it more than I do. I'm also having my attorney put a contractor's lien on your home on Tuesday. And guess what happened? she responded immediately. She has not responded to any of the other half dozen messages that I've sent her over the past 160 days. But when I threatened her with the contractor's lien, it got her attention. That was the trigger that I was looking for. Not only did she respond immediately to my text, she also called me immediately and left a voicemail. And this is what she had to say. Who is this? She knows who it is. We've been doing business together for many, many years. And then she says, is this related to blank, 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 or my home? I spoke with so-and-so and it started, is this Mike? Now, all of a sudden she knows that it's Mike. And let me also say that this was 2 minutes after she decided to respond to a message after not responding to any messages for months on end. And so I just said, yeah, at your house, I've sent the invoice 5 times. We haven't cleaned this for well over a year. And then she has excuses about this and that and the other, but that's neither here nor there.
Hello, this is and trying to reach you to settle this. So sorry and happy to pay you what I owe you and apologize. So if you will or can give me a call, I am traveling back to Savannah from work, but I can text you my credit card if that's helpful. But I just didn't want you to try to call back when I was, the plane's about to take off. Okay.
And sadly, that is always the trigger to get these type of people to pay. And am I ever really going to put a lien on her property or any of the other slow pay customers I've had to deal with over the years? Probably not. In fact, I never have. But the real question is, how many times have I threatened to do it over the years? And the answer is dozens and dozens of times. And every single time I get the response that I'm looking for. And there's a million excuses. Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, it was going to junk. Oh, I forgot. Bullshit. You chose to ignore my invoice. You chose to ignore my text messages. You chose to pay other bills before you chose to pay mine. Or you just said, screw this guy. I'm going to pay it when I'm ready. But then I changed their mind with one simple little email or a text. The trigger. The threat of the contractor's lien. And the trick here is make it sound as official as possible. I typically just say that I'm going to be filing the lien tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the clerk of court, and that I would appreciate if they could take care of that before that time so I don't waste my time. So the takeaway, threaten them with a lien and get paid. That is it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Also, don't forget to check out 𝐤𝑂TE_IQ. We are giving away that Ford F-150 and 50% off for the first 3 months if you go to myquoteiq.com. And as always, thank you for watching. And do not forget to check out How to Wash and watch this little video here.
We've put together the most intensive training the industry has ever seen. Over 6 hours of in-depth training on the best methods for cleaning houses, roofs, driveways, and every other surface you might encounter on a residential job site. How to Wash covers the chemicals to use, how to mix them, the equipment, the best methods to make you the most efficient and profitable you can be. Safety and property protection, specialty chemicals, as well as pro tips, and so much more. We've helped 4,500 students get their ECP certification, which means How to Wash delivers and continues to deliver because it's yours to keep and review forever. We've also included an extensive Q&A section in each module, which gives you even more information at your fingertips. How to Wash is less than the price of one house wash, so don't wait. Click the link below.